Hello everyone, it is finals time at the Victory Road Pokemon Unite tournament. I'm Kirk doobsnax Dubé alongside Joe, OmniJoe Bernard, and we've got Luv Deez, who has been raking through this tournament, and The End, who just dispatched Snowpoint's team in the most vicious way possible. A little bit of an interesting setup here. We saw the Cramorant with Luv Deez, kind of a unique choice. So we'll see how that plays out. Joe.
Yeah, and this is going to be a best of 5 series, of course, in the finals now, not just that best of 3 format. So a few more games in here where people can try and get an edge in one way or another. Like we said, the Alolan Ninetales and the Cramorant, the only difference between the two teams here. So we'll see their choice of laning options and how they're able to navigate these early rounds. As we've seen, both of these teams love targeting down Dreadnought very aggressively. So we could easily see some 5v5s early on.
Absolutely. We're going to be following this particular game one here of the best of 5 from the point of view of Lutano, the top laning Lucario for Luv Deez. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. They're pretty exciting last game as we were watching from the bottom lane perspective of Luv Deez versus Springy Esports. So I'm excited to see us get a little action in the top lane and see what goes on the Rotom side of the board.
It looks like we're going to be seeing, just as with the semifinals, the Lucario and the Eldegoss are going to be going up top. The Scorbunny hitting that jungle, and we're going to start seeing some points rack up early on. For the top lane, not too much to say here. Really, people are going to try and get their farm rolling. If they can try and steal something in the mid, they will get some extra experience points here, as they are just going to kick off early with a few A-Poms. There's already some Corphish action going on.
Yeah, Dexter for the end, making their way to that middle Corphish and be able to put pressure on early. Kind of behind in the race there. Gosu easy peasy, and Dexter the Lucario, they're getting beat backwards by Lutano and Indy Bear, and Lutano's giving chase. They want to keep the pressure on, make them scramble back to the turret, and they both a gentle retreat into back farming their mobs.
Looked like a nice steal there from Lutano on the A-Pom. I believe they got the last hit in there. You can see they are now in at level 4. And just waiting for that next Corphish to come up before they start getting involved again. As it looks like we already see evolved up into a Raboot now, coming up to top lane to get a bit of an advantage on numbers here.
Yeah, both Raboots have swung up. Dexter easy peasy getting the pressure put on by the Raboot. Weriton on their side of the board kicking some fireballs down at Carvenan, who just moved up to try and make some plays, and they're all scrambling at each other trying to make bees. The End getting pushed back. No collateral damage there. Nobody goes down, but Lutano is quick onto the Corphish, going to try and see if they can nab it from Weriton as Indy Bear kind of pokes Weriton away, and they're able to poach it from them.
Lutano... Yeah, has been getting some good scores in here, but the Indy Bear is super underleveled. As you can see, Eldegoss for the opponent already leveled up here.
Yeah, you mentioned that as a critical component, actually, of The End versus the Snowpoints team matchup. The Eldegoss didn't quite get up and running fast enough, and now we've got tons of action. Carvenan kicking up, and now they're hunting down the Eldegoss. They've got 3v2 here in the middle. Xavier G rolls up and say, I'm rolling out. They take care of that Eldegoss, and they go their separate ways. Everybody retreating back to their lanes and going back into the farming mode. Lutano targeting down the A-Pom and taking a deep breath.
Looks like Lutano is going to be trying to defend this top lane while the remainder of the team look towards to head to bottom, as Dreadnought will be coming up pretty soon. We'll see if Lutano just wanted to get some extra experience in and might just be heading back down soon, or decides to defend this top on his own here as the rest of the team target the Dreadnought.
Lutano, playing that speedster Lucario Pokemon can really move across the map very, very well. And now just a 1v1 of the Lucarios in the top lane. Neither of them interested in rolling down to Dreadnought as Dexter takes the Corphish. Lutano just kind of reels off and backs up, says, I'm pretty content here. Let me get some HP up and see if I can maybe put some competition to these bees.
Yeah, it's been pretty typical from both these sides. As you can see, it's heavily contested down Dreadnought side, whereas Lucario is just going to happily sort of gauge each other, take some free experience points, and try and put some damage in. I imagine neither of them will actually be getting knocked out here. They just don't have enough damage to put into one another. They're both going to be kind of zoning here. As we see the last hit come onto the best become from Lutano. He's been able to get the better of that little exchange here, but I still feel they're both pretty comfortable and won't be getting knocked out, as Dreadnought still hasn't been claimed just yet.
Yeah, just Dexter rolling down, rolls back up, sees the A-Pom, and elects to just dive into the grass. Lutano may be seeing if they need to make their way down. And they're just farming. They're just kind of chipping at each other, keeping each other a little bit of distance, trying to get some experience. Lutano with a big bone rush there and sends Dexter scrambling back to their turret in the top. And Lutano making the choice to finally commit to going downstairs.
I think it's a good time, and it looks like the rest of the team are following with Luv Deez to get that last hit in on the Dreadnought, which they do. So they're able to take the claim here, and maybe some more points on the board as they can finish off some KOs.
Yeah, Lutano pulling up just to maybe eat up some scraps here, as there's a little bit of a fight breaking out. Wereton, Zugrug, the Snorlax goes down. Just Gosu sent scrambling, and Lutano just kind of ate up the rest of the team, maybe using the fact that they're down on HP and just chewing them up. And Dexter is now on a 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Xavier G buys some time, buys in a heavy slam, sends some people retreating. First comes in, and now Lutano is worse for wear as they go down, maybe staying in the pocket a little too long.
Absolutely clutch play from Dexter there. He stopped 3 people scoring on that goal down bot lane and just really meant that they're all still glutted with those points as the remainder of the team finally got back into the game after a few key knockouts. Looks like they're going to continue the onslaught down bot here. Maybe they think they still have the overload pressure here, although the Rotom is currently up. So there's going to be a bit of a skirmish on both sides here, as it looks like the remainder of the team are going to head to the top lane and once again leave Lutano just to fight on his own.
Lutano aggressively chasing down Xavier G, about to knock off half of that life bar. Xavier G jumping in their turret. Lutano trying to get those points and doesn't quite make it, and uses Power Up Punch to move around the map a little bit, and just going to go after the Audino, thinking that this Xavier G Snorlax probably doesn't want much of what I'm offering.
The End was able to claim the Rotom, but I believe it's close to being dealt with already by Luv Deez, so it's not been too detrimental for them as they're going to work their way back down bot lane here. Looks like a fairly low-scoring game so far. There was some great defense by Dexter, so we've got to start seeing some scores here, maybe some extra overloads going on, as it looks like Dreadnaught's just about to respawn here.
Lutano rolling up, grabbing those Aeons there available first, trying to chip into this Audino, and Lutano seeing and just poaching the Audino from them. I kind of love the use of the Power Butt Punch. Lutano just kind of standing back, sitting around, and then whoop, taking those, because as that HP on those mons go down, Power Up Punch damage output goes up. Little fight breaking out here pre-Dreadnaw. Xavier G, everybody getting knocked up with that heavy slam. Dexter sent reeling. Wereton is getting pushed back. Quick heals by Gosu. First on the verge, still hanging up. Cramorant has gone down. Goof GG did go down, and that's a lot of damage output from Luv Deez that they're going to need to be able to take this Dreadnaw. They're successfully pushing them back, but now everybody's rolling back down as Gosu easy peasy heals up the whole squad on the end, and they are ready to get back into the action, and they do. Snorlax Zugrug trying to make a big block going down, and here we have a counter push by Xavier G, and it's just chaos. Nobody's really started Dreadnaw yet, as they're just chipping away at each other, scrambling around, and putting a lot of pressure on these Eldegosses to keep their team up and ready to go, so when it's Dreadnaw time, they both can attack it. Xavier G getting caught on a little bit wrong side of the map there, and they might go down here, and they do, which that's huge for the push on Dreadnaw, as Xavier G is stuck in their own base, waiting on the respawn. And now Lutano picking their spots, charging up Power Up Punch. Dreadnaw has been started. Let's see how it develops. Wereton trying to kick at Lutano, trying to do some damage. Lutano's hiding in the grass. Knives in on Dreadnaw and poaches it. The whole thing they've been doing the whole time, Power Up Punch, snaking some mobs and getting that experience. And now you've got to think that the End is thinking, we lost both of these Dreadnoughts. We didn't get a lot of points in. We made a good stand, sent Rotom down the pike, but that didn't really lead to anything. And the End is kind of left scrambling, as now Luv Deez is hungry, and now they're getting those points, and Dexter not there to make the big stand.
Zugrug really helping out his team there by defending Lucario, allowing him to score his 40 points. It's one of those things where he feels like there's enough points around the board where he can reload just before he's getting that double down. And yeah, like you said, great play from Lucario there, able to take the knockout on Dreadnought. It's pretty much textbook play from Lucario, where you're able to just get a huge amount of damage in on these targets and really claim them for yourself. That is the reason why we're seeing him as an S-tier all-rounder. He has just got that final hit ability better than any other character in the game. That's what sets him apart. Rotom has been claimed once again by the End, as we're going to see Lucario waiting for that 2-minute mark by the looks of things before scoring here. And actually scores the points just before the 2-minute counter. That may be a bit of mistiming there, because he could have doubled down quite easily. I don't know if the opposing team could have come down quickly enough to stop him.
Xavier G and Gosu put the pressure on Lutano, sending Zugrug and Lutano scrambling back down. Great thing about the points, but this fight is about to break out. Zapdos is here first. Gosu, little bit of stall action there. Gosu and Zugrug getting into it, along with Xavier G. And now The big push is on. The big Unite move from Lucario to do some critical damage there to the Snorlax and the Eldegoss to give them the opportunity to push back up. We're a little bit off screen of where the action is, but it is in that funneled in the middle. Raritan and Xavier G from the end going back towards Zapdos, and the whole time Carvenin, the Cinderace for Luv Deez, has just been kind of sitting around Zapdos, maybe babysitting a little bit, thinking we're ahead, we don't really need this. One of the turrets goes down. The end, or excuse me, Luv Deez pressuring the end from both axes, keeping them off being able to make an approach on Zapdos, closing out turrets, and really putting themselves in a good spot. Zapdos hasn't even been touched yet, and there's 55 seconds left in this game.
This is just great zoning from Lutano and the whole rest of the team, really. They're making sure that they're still in range of their turrets to get some extra heals in here, as it looks like we're starting to see the end finally make the desperate push because they know they're behind. There's only 40 seconds left on the clock.
Big push. Zugrug trying to keep the end from getting Zapdos, and Power Up Punch there just getting charged up, and I think we're going to try and see Lutano poaches. The end gets it! The end gets it! It's a scramble now. We see all of the end kind of shooting the other way. Everybody on Luv Deez is just using all the orbs they have, and we're like, everybody just let's go, let's go, let's go. It's like a game of hungry hippos out here. Marbles getting snatched up off the game board, and they're trying to convert that into a win. Top turret goes down for Luv Deez. We see Lutano get points in, Carvenin get points in, Zugrug going up top. Lutano goes back to play some defense, and Carvenin shoots down bot to try and protect, and we're going to see if this mad scramble at the end, how it shakes out. Zapdos went down, but lots of points were scored, and Luv Deez pulls it out despite Zapdos going to the end. Joe!
Man, sometimes attack is the best form of the defense. When Zapdos goes down, you really can't defend all of those different options. No turrets actually had gone down at that point for Luv Deez, so trying to defend 5 different points is just impossible when they can insta-score on you. So just commit the other way. Just you all have a chunk of points as well. Just go ahead and score on their side because they're all preoccupied at the same time. Really like that late push for the Zapdos. You know, they stalled the game out long enough to the point where the Zapdos wasn't going to be super detrimental, where people could score on you once, then reload, then score all over again. Again, because they had so many turrets set up, it's too difficult to defend all of those. It's too far spread for all of these players to get back in time to redefend. So why not just go ahead, finish off how much scoring you've got? You already had the advantage earlier on in the game. We could see that. So they just capitalized and stayed ahead even at the end.
Yeah, we saw an 80-pointer getting dunked in while Zapdos is going on. As you mentioned, Lutano able to zone out the end from starting Zapdos too early. They got it under the minute mark. I think I said 55 seconds, and it hadn't even been touched yet, which sets up that unique scenario where you don't give the end enough time to convert Zapdos and play defense. So it was almost like it was written on the wall. If we get Zapdos, it's a mad rush, and we've got the points ready to dunk in, easy mode. But if we lose, they have to pressure up and get their Aeons dunked. But that gives us just the right amount of time to do that ourselves and kind of cancel out that big advantage that Zapdos provides your team. And it really panned out. Great work by Luv Deez in the first game, and can't wait to see how this second game shakes out.